How did you turn your life around? Started going to therapy. Slowly realized that I have to think about myself too. Started going to gym, setting boundaries, eating foods I like, and every day I tried to do one thing that made me happy. And I finally got the courage to go to school and study something I actually like. Lost 15 kilos. Edit, no, it wasn't cocaine. I was 12, pretty sure I lost around 10 kilograms of cum. Border Patrol? Leaving TikTok. Social media in general is good to leave. It's a time waster, it fries the pleasure-seeking system in your brain, and it's not good for mental health. Reddit probably counts as social media too. And here we are. I asked for help. Good for you. Such a hard step to take. Thanks a lot, it really is. Stopped smoking weed. Good choice, me too. I loved to be stoned, but I realized it doesn't help me reaching my goals. I've been smoking once every couple of weeks, Fridays or Saturdays only, for a couple of years now. It's a nice little treat that I look forward to sometimes, but if it became more regular, yeah, I can see how that would be a problem. Like drinking or anything else really. Reading more and using social media less. I'm almost at the point where I can just delete Reddit. Almost. Reddit can be a good support system. Just don't argue in useless threads, that's the biggest trap in toxic social media. I'll argue all I want to. Thank you very much. You got a problem with that? Find a 1996 Honda Civic with a clean title and low miles. Honda Civic, you have acquired. Lethal dose of ketamine, you will buy now. No, that would be if it was a 2001 Honda Civic. I grew up in South Florida during the beginning of the opioid craziness. From 2006 to 2011 things got pretty bad. I'm 2011 I sold my last possession, my car, for $800, packed 2 suitcases and bought a bus ticket to Denver. Never been to Denver, didn't know anyone there, but weed was starting to be legal and I didn't want to miss out. I detoxed on the bus going from Florida to Colorado. Do not recommend. I got lucky and ended up sitting next to a guy that was a grower and needed help in his garden. I didn't know it at the time, but on the Greyhound he said I had an 8-hour job interview. Got to Denver and he really helped me get established. Within 2 months I was sleeping on his couch and learning how to grow. Haven't touched a painkiller since I got on that bus almost 9.5 years ago, and now I'm married, homeowner, decent car, and working my dream job in the cannabis industry. It's not for everyone, but I literally went from homeless sticking needles in my arm to living a life better than I could have ever imagined. When you said lucky for you the guy next to you was a grower, I thought this story was going somewhere else. He's a grower, not a shower Macron ___/ Macron. Quite recently, I deleted Facebook, deleted Instagram and Snapchat. I now only use Twitter and Reddit. I stopped making an effort to those who don't for me. I cut out the toxic people in my life and I surrounded myself with positivity and care. I've deleted Snapchat and Instagram. I'm keeping Facebook cause there's certain people I can only talk to on there, but I'm trying not to check it so much, or even Twitter and Reddit. How do you motivate yourself to stop looking at social media all the damn time? For me, turning off all notifications help. Out of sight, out of mind. If it's habit-based checking, remove the icon from an easy-to-get-to location to somewhere more difficult. Sometimes, making things a little bit harder and more manual allows time for your brain to catch itself and say you don't need to do that. You don't have to cut it all out right away, just try and reduce the addiction. Maybe when you feel like digging for it, put the phone down and walk/clean. Eventually, you just don't bother to care unless it's something important for you to check, say, messaging a family member or wishing someone happy birthday. Realized there was more to life than partying and waking up hungover all the time. Goddamn, I want to stop drinking so bad. /stop drinking is a great place to start. I quit drinking when I was 24, went back to college when I was 26 and graduated at 29. Fucking needed this. I hope this is my timeline. I'm 24 and 166 days sober. Congratulations. You absolutely can do this. Just one foot in front of the other. I'm proud of you, stranger. Realized my quest to find love wouldn't fix anything wrong with me. Stopped manipulating and using men to try to fill the void in my soul. Treated men like people instead of tools. Actually fell in love and am married to the most wonderful person I've ever met. Edit, thanks so much for the awards. I grew up believing that getting married and marrying the right man was the greatest thing I could achieve for my life. As a woman, my ambitions were for my future husband's career and for the children I would have with him. Therefore I threw myself into relationships, erasing my personality to land the guy that checked all the boxes. Surprise, surprise, none of those relationships worked out. Finally realized I hadn't been happy in any of them and decided to just be happy with myself. Fell into a relationship naturally a year later and have been together for 10 plus years. Quit a job that wasn't making me happy, went back to college. Just literally handed in my notice at my shitty office job during a global pandemic/tanking economy to go back to college this September. I'm 29 and scared shitless. This has given me hope. Were you an accountant, by the way? Also, what are you getting into? I decided to stop comparing myself to my brother and try to focus on the improvable. God, I wish I could do that. I'm the big brother, I should have my shit together. I have to disagree with you. I figured recently that nobody really has their shit together at any age. Some people are just better at pretending. You got this, king. Paid off my debts slowly but surely and worked my ass off to buy a house. Took years, but it was worth it. Getting there myself. The debt part anyway. Would be faster if I wasn't paying my way through grad school, but I should be debt-free with a master's degree in 2 years. Smile. Taking vitamin D3 for a bad deficiency and quitting my job with a verbally abusive boss to better my mental health. Hey. Crazy. I just got back from the store where I got my supplements package. I tested with severe deficiency. I don't go out much and I hate the sun. When I go out it's only during the evening and night time past 6 p.m. I ordered D3 and K3, vitamin D and K with plant-based iodine and plant-based omega-3. Hope these will help. There are tons of stuff, but I basically never ate fish that much even when I used to eat meat. Decided it's okay to put yourself first no matter what. I don't mean that go ahead and cheat and lie for your benefits. For example, I was seeing this toxic person for some time and I was the one always compromising. When things finally ended, I chose to cut off all contact from that person while they wanted to remain in touch, for support or validation. I felt bad and selfish while doing it, but starting to feel better about myself now that that person is out of my life. You need to be selfish if the other person is being selfish too. Affix your own oxygen mask first. Lived in Detroit. Skies are grey. Got laid off because management made an absolute mess out of the merger. Next door neighbor got murdered. Decided the city will be the death of me and my happiness, too. Sold the house. Bought a van. Moved to LA. Went to school. Now I am doing some of the coolest shit imaginable. A number of publications. Trips to the jungle. Exploring uncharted caves. Meeting celebs. Jumping out of airplanes. Presenting at academic conferences. Now trying to get into a PhD program in archaeology. That's it in a nutshell. How did you afford this? Stopped caring about things I can't control and put all my energy into the things I can. It sounds hard, but there's actually a lot you can control and that doesn't leave much room for the other shit. Went to a sober living and got clean. I heavily reduced sugar when I was 21 and started resistance training. 2 years later and I am feeling the best I have ever felt, have so much energy and self-confidence because I actually like the way I look now. Clothes fit so much better as well. How did cutting sugar affect you, and how hard was it? I'm not going to lie, it was really difficult for the first few months. I wasn't obese or anything, but I still had my baby fat that I wanted to be rid of. I stopped eating normal chocolate, as in milk chocolate, lollies, muffins, cookies, anything with added refined sugar. I think I did suffer a bit of sugar withdrawal, got the shakes and pretty awful headaches etc, but after a few months it just stopped, and I didn't crave any of that rubbish anymore. 2 years later and the baby fat I swear has melted off me, and I only eat dark chocolate, and I still eat the occasional cookie but only once in a blue moon and don't miss it at all. I get the majority of my sugar from fructose now and feel so much better for it. Same goes for refined carbs, stopped eating that as well and only eat wholemeal / brown rice etc. Smile, I also have the muscle tone I always wanted to, so I feel so much stronger. Refused to be another statistic. Never stayed complacent. Allowed myself to be uncomfortable and enter scary unknown territory for personal and professional growth. Oh, and I got pets and they make me so happy. And they make me want to do better so I can get them nice things like a big backyard and lots of toys lol. Gave Facebook, TikTok, etc. a week off. Then 2 weeks. Then never went back. But not Reddit lol. Reddit is so different for me. I don't actually know anyone here in real life, so there's no pressure. I can follow whatever I want and my feed is filled with puppies and kittens and ducks and cows and it makes me so happy. And there's actual interesting things / discussions to delve into. When I was a teenager I was homeless. A lot of places wouldn't hire me because I had no experience or interview clothes. I went to the Board of Education and begged the HR lady to give me a chance at any job. I told her I'd scrub the school with a toothbrush if they paid me. They made me a general sub for clerical. I took a call for one of the bad neighborhood schools that some others turned down. Walked across town to get there every day. I had to start walking at 4:30 a.m. to be on time. I wore dress clothes from a church mission that were way too big, but I did my best. After 4 months they gave me a long-term position. Then a permanent one with benefits. I saved up enough for an apartment. Finding a landlord okay with renting to an 18-year-old homeless girl was hard, and started college. I haven't been homeless a day since in the last 15 years. I even have a house now. Nice work. You really stuck to it and were very determined. After being laid off from my last factory job, I suddenly found myself on the streets of Toronto in the early 1990s with a grade 9 education, no money, no friends, no job references, and not really any family. So what did I do? Found an unbelievably dirty crappy crawl space basement apartment. Applied for welfare. Stopped drinking and smoking, and anything else unhealthy. Got a gym membership and went 4 hours a day. Jogged 5 miles every morning, weather permitting. Enrolled in an adult high school. Ignored everyone and everything that would be a distraction. Got my high school diploma with honors in 2 years. Applied for university. Got in. Moved to a different city and spent 4 years getting my BA in philosophy, because I like to think and solve problems. Applied to a graduate program, and spent the next 10 years getting my MA and my PhD. Then spent the next several years as a professor making good money and having lots of fun. Won't say how things are going now because I got cursed with poor health etc, and so am no longer working. I'll just say that I am happy now and know that I would have ended up either dead or in jail if I hadn't done what I did all those years ago. Sooner or later everyone has got to take their life seriously. Greater than sooner or later everyone has got to take their life seriously. This. So much this. I work in healthcare and the difference in people who have and haven't taken care of themselves is astounding. 40 tends to be the break point I notice when your bad decisions start catching up with you. Greater than 40 tends to be the break point I notice when your bad decisions start catching up with you. I don't know, I just turned 30 and I feel like my life is over, even though this year I managed to kick porn addiction, stop eating pizza and fast food entirely, and most recently started going to the gym and now weigh less than 200 pounds for the first time in forever. I earn less than 30k than a year on a shit hourly job I just can't move up from, no degree even though I have a shitload of credits earned, might be why I can't move up. I have roommates, I have no friends or relationships outside of my dad, didn't start bothering me until a few days ago, the list goes on. Edit, wait, you were just talking about purely health-related bad decisions. Oh well, I'll leave it up. I wasn't happy. Lost weight, shaved head, got tattoos, travel more, complain less. Everything I do is for myself. I have a long way to go. If it's me trying to impress someone, it never sticks. You have to want to do it yourself. Two people so far apart, yet I feel the joy in your heart. It takes time. Start today, it will take X amount of days. Start tomorrow, it takes X plus 1. Find what makes you happy no matter how insignificant. I never pictured today me a year ago. Self-reflection and self-awareness are key. Got a DUI. Decided whilst locked up for 12 hours that this was rock bottom. Decided that rather than trying to find a new job in the daily grind, I would work for myself. Have spent the last 8 months building up a business selling meteorites and meteorite jewelry. It's not a success yet, but things are definitely looking up. Edit, I'm planning on replying to everyone who has taken the time to leave a comment or message, but in the meantime, as you/content gatherer has worked out, the website is www.skystonemeteorites.com, although it's not quite fully functional as a shop yet. For jewelry I have been doing direct sales or via my Etsy shop at https://www.etsy.com/shop/disimbogue. That's awesome, bro, go you. Chuck up a link, would love to buy something off you for a workmate that is really into that kind of stuff, providing you can ship to New Zealand. Keeping kicking goals, man. I might wanna take a look, too. I've already considered buying some meteorites to make myself some jewelry. Just posting here so I can receive a notification. Left the cult. Bad news is you came back to Reddit. Yes, but this is probably a slightly better cult smile. I took my last drink of alcohol 2079 days ago. Good for you. Moving out of my parents' house. I was living with my parents, which is very common thing in India, until end of my med school. I've been in my comfort zone all my life and had everything I need. That led to depression and I wanted to live by myself and to get out of my bubble. Now I can't say I figured it all, but I definitely feel better. This seems to be an Indian thing. I'm in South Africa, but my parents want me to get married first before moving out. But like you, I'm craving independence. So tired of answering to other people. Also, I don't want to get married and let that be my first experience of living alone. My wife would think I'm useless. Greater than also, I don't want to get married and let that be my first experience of living alone. My wife would think I'm useless. This is so thoughtful to your future spouse. Please do live alone for at least a year, learn what it takes to run a household, keep up your own appointments, remember your own family's birthdays and special events/expectations. You need to have all of these things down to have an equal partnership in the future.